What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. Today's video is on Super Smash Brothers. Now, as many people know, Super Smash Brothers is a franchise that's been made by Nintendo. But one thing that people don't know, well, some do, but not everyone knows, is that apparently this is kind of connected to the Netflix rumor about Legend of Zelda getting its own franchise on Netflix or whatever, and then that being proven false. Yes, that's been proven false, sadly, which was something that I would have loved to have seen a Netflix TV show for Legend of Zelda. I think a lot of people would have, especially if they could improve from their previous Legend of Zelda game. TV show, and let's not even go there. So, anyway, apparently Sony, the company that makes, PlayStation and all those kind of things, as well as a lot of like TV related stuff. Apparently, Sony at one point had some discussions going on with Nintendo. What was their why exactly? May wonder. Well, as I've said before, Sony has a lot of like technology based stuff, and they're not just all about gaming. They're about movies, TV, all sorts of stuff. And so the thing is that they were considering making a Super Smash Brothers movie. Yeah, I'm not joking about that. And this was confirmed about a week ago or so, basically mentioning that apparently there were some discussions that were found somehow online. I don't know exactly where at the moment, but apparently there were it was being discussed, and there were some meetings with some of the major people like Miyamoto, and I believe Iwata might have been involved in it somewhat. I don't remember if they gave all this. They didn't give much detail overall, but they gave some general ideas about what had occurred so far, and I was basically just talking about how they were doing a lot of discussions and they were hoping to create something. The big problem, though, I believe that they said, was the fact that a lot of these franchises are is that you're taking so many different franchises, and it's like, how are you going to really create a way so that these companies can each make money, which is something which you may think to yourself, well, isn't that kind of like Wreck-It Ralph? And I would completely say, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like Wreck-It Ralph. If you look at Wreck-It Ralph, that's more or less what this could be like, only even better, because it's like all these awesome Super Smash Bros. Characters. And I'll tell you this much, the audience is definitely there. There are plenty of people that would instantly jump at the chance to just go and watch a movie about Super Smash Brothers. I mean, my God, who doesn't like the Super Smash Brothers video games? I mean, there are some people that don't, but I mean, at the same time, there are a lot of people that do, and there's a lot of people that compete. Sorry, I didn't pronounce it completely well. Compete. Love to play it all the time. Mewtwo just came out, so that's a big deal. We're getting Lucas. Supposedly there's Ryu. Supposedly we might be getting Roy from, which was he was a Melee. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, there's rumors for Banjo and Kazooie, and Shovel Knight and Inklings and all these other characters that people are wanting and hoping to get, and some other returning veterans. I mean, it's a pretty big deal, and people are really hyping it. And then there's, of course, the amiibos. I mean, my God, there's so much, and that's another thing that they mentioned, is the fact that somehow they were considering is that this was being discussed around the time that amiibos were first being incorporated, which means that this discussion had happened a year or so prior to when this was revealed or something like that. I believe that's right. But they mentioned something about how they wanted to do some sort of connection between the amiibo concept and the movie at that point. Now, I personally think that that's awesome. I'm very curious as to what that means. I don't know personally, and they did not really go into general details about what that really would entail. It was more or less so an idea, I believe. That's really how it was described, more or less so, as not really as something that's been confirmed or given any detail or understanding exactly what that would mean. But yeah, that's what was really said. Also, it was said that that overall story wise, they really hadn't gotten anywhere. Like none of the characters had been really developed, so we weren't really sure as to what the story would be based on. Would there be some unusual new character that would come from this movie that would be the main character of the movie? Would it be a whole bunch of fights? What would it be like? Would it be really? Would it be because there's been several fighting based games that have been made into movies. Like Street Fighter's had its own movie, though that wasn't that great. I'm surprised. I don't think Mortal Kombat has, but I would actually, I believe it has had its own movie. But you get my point. Like these kind of games that are fighting based easily and could it happen. And the other thing is that think of it this way: unlike those games, which there's a little bit more violence and there's a lot more realism to it. We're talking about like Nintendo characters here. We're talking about Mario and Sonic and Villager and Mega Man and all these different characters. And the thing is that when you think of these characters, you're not thinking, oh my god, they're doing some terrible damaging things. No, you're looking at them and you're saying, oh my god, it's cool or whatever. You love these characters and you see them from all these different franchises, and that's awesome. These other franchises, it's like they have to do these collaborative games where they collaborate with other collaborations, like Street Fighter. Capcom has to collaborate with with I don't know, let's just say Mortal Kombat or Marvel or something like that. You get my point. Like they themselves can't just do it on their own. While Super Smash Bros. Really is like a universal thing. That's why Ryu is supposedly rumored, and Ryu is for Street Fighter, and yet he'll still be counted in Super Smash Bros. So it's not going to be like Super Smash Brothers versus Street Fighter. No, it's going to be still Super Smash Brothers, which is just like, that's awesome. That's the thing that makes Super Smash Brothers so amazing, is the fact that, their franchise, sure, maybe they can fight against a character from a different franchise, but the thing is that, what is Super Smash Brothers? It's really all sorts of franchises coming together in a way, and working towards this one game that where each of them could go, where you can have Pikachu versus I don't know, let's just say Mewtwo. No, actually, what am I saying? That's kind of normal. It's like if I said Mario versus Bowser. No, bad example. Pikachu versus Link, or Yoshi versus Zero Suit Samus. These characters that would never see one another. Or Lil Mac goes up against Shulk. When would that really happen in their universes? I doubt it would. I really would doubt it would. Especially since, Shulk, for example, has a Monado blade while Lil Mac has his fists. I don't think that they're going to go up against each other anytime soon, and would in reality. Which is just cool. There's so many possibilities with the Smash Bros. Franchises in regard to the possibilities of things that can happen, and there's so many characters that they would love to include, but they haven't been able to, and now they can, and that's just awesome. You're not going to see that in a lot of other places, like your favorite characters. Banjo and Kazooie are being considered to possibly have an appearance eventually, which is just amazing, because that franchise is... people have been wanting a sequel to that game for years, and people have been wanting the return of them in some way for years. And recently there was that announcement for Project, I forget what it's called. It's for the Xbox, I believe it was, Project something Star thing or whatever. I don't remember the name right now. But it was supposed to be for Conquer. Yeah, Conquer's Bad Fur Day, which is made by Rareware, which was made by Rare, of course, and Rare is a company that made, Banjo-Kazooie, which made people think, oh my god, maybe we're going to get Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. And there is a spiritual sequel that's being made right now online, but if this can hint at possibly, the return of the franchise, and where we're getting some serious games and people who love the original platformers are getting what they want, like myself, it's going to be great. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And if this movie becomes a thing, it's gonna only improve the sales of the game even more so, because the sales are great. I mean, the thing that's really selling it overall, if you haven't already guessed, is the amiibos. But regardless, I mean, there's so much excitement, and the thing is that they're already confirming that a lot of these DLC characters are getting amiibos. So yeah, Mewtwo's getting an amiibo, Lucas is getting an amiibo. If we get Ryu, he's getting an amiibo. If we get Banjo-Kazooie, we're getting an amiibo for Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, that's just awesome. That fact that we're getting all these characters that will get amiibos. That's really, really cool and really, really smart. And they are gonna make a ton of money. They really are gonna make a ton of money the way that they're doing it. And they are making a ton of money. Though at the same time, it is causing trouble with, like, you know, sales, because of the fact that things are selling out so fast and the shipments take forever to make and people are wanting them. There's high demand, there's all those issues. But regardless, it's still awesome. And I think that this movie, if it's a real thing, it could be a great thing if it works out well and they do it in the right animation style. They give it a good story. The only other issue I can think of is the fact that will it be a movie that would just have grunts? Will it be a movie where the characters will have voices? And if so, does that mean that we're getting Mario to have a voice other than and more than just him saying, "Hey, it's a me, Mario," or something like that, or Link actually speaking for once, which is, you know, other than the animated show, which we really don't talk about that much. I mean, we've never had him really have a speaking voice. That goes the same for a lot of these characters. Villager, I mean, Villager just kind of makes noises here and there, and even then it's very minimal at most. I mean, we really never hear a noise or anything from him. So anyway, guys, I'm excited. I think that this thing is going to be, if it's real and we see it, which if we do, I'm sure it won't happen this year. I'm sure it will happen in a year, maybe 2 years even, sadly. I still think that it could be really, really exciting and really fun. So anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. Again, this has been Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye.